Welcome to another episode of Conscious Manifestation Experiment. Today we are starting a new series called Neville Goddard's Testimonies. I have found that some people often find it difficult to comprehend Neville Goddard as he speaks in Old English. His teaching is not as well organized as that of other law of attraction teachers today. So his work requires some updates and new explanations from a new perspective. And this is why I am creating this new series. I will create a new playlist called Neville Goddard's Testimonies so that you can easily find videos that are like this one. In this series, we will talk about success stories of people who applied the teachings of Neville Goddard. Some of the success stories will be of people who practiced Neville's techniques after his time, while others have been told by Neville himself. We will study these stories in absolute detail so that you can customize the techniques to suit your personal situation and be more effective in getting results. Today, I will read out a testimony told by Neville Goddard himself in one of his lectures. It is about the girl in a streetcar. Watch till the end because we will really break down this technique, which will give you the most value from this video. Neville speaks. Taking the streetcar home from work that first Christmas Eve, she found the car filled with young boys and girls, singing and happy, and she could not restrain the tears. Lucky for her it was raining, so she extended her face to the heavens and let the rain mingle with her tears. As she tasted the salt of her tears, she said to herself, "This is not a streetcar, but a ship, and I am not tasting my tears, but the salt of the sea in the wind." While she physically held the rail of the streetcar, she mentally touched the rail of a ship moving into Samoa. Physically tasting the salt of her tears, she imagined it was the salt of the sea. As the streetcar reached its destination, she was entering the Bay of Samoa, feeling the moonlight shining on her body and hearing a voice say, "Isn't it a heavenly night?" 2 weeks later, this girl received a check for $3,000 from a law firm in Chicago. It seems that 2 years before, her aunt had left the United States, requesting that if she did not return, the money was to be given to her niece. Within 1 month, the girl was on a ship sailing for Samoa. Coming into the bay, she saw a ship plowing through the water, leaving lovely white foam in its path. As the moonlight touched the wake, its spray touched her face, and a man standing near said, "Isn't it a heavenly night?" At that moment, her outer senses experienced what she had used her inner senses to make real. This is where Neville's lecture ends, and we will now begin our analysis. Let me tell you first that whatever the girl did is described by Neville Goddard as the most effective technique. You may have some difficulty to apply this technique in every situation. But try to apply this if you can, as this technique was not only used by this girl but also Jesus Christ. More on this later. The girl did 3 important things in her imagination. 1. She imagined the end. She did not imagine about how she was going to travel. She did not think of the possibilities of her desire fulfilling. She did not even imagine about the journey on the ship and what she was going to eat there. Instead, she conceived a scene that implied to her that her wish was fulfilled. I want to draw your attention about the first point. I have seen many times people struggle with creating their end scenes. They worry that their end scenes do not imply the desire fulfilled. They worry that if they imagine the weather of Singapore, they may manifest a trip to another tropical country like Indonesia. I will say that it does not matter. It is true that if the girl's imaginal act was taken out of context, one could argue that her voyage was made to somewhere else with similar weather conditions and physical appearance. You could easily have another bay with moonlight and breeze. But do not worry, you will not manifest something different. The reason is that your feelings are the secret. You cannot feel the same emotions and feelings by imaging a trip to somewhere else other than your desire. 2. The second thing that the girl did is what I call sense teleportation. This is the act that makes this streetcar technique so much more powerful than other techniques. This technique was used by Jesus and alchemists to manifest desired realities. I have made a separate video about it called, Was Jesus an Alchemist? I will leave a link for this video in the description below. In sense teleportation, what you do is take something that already exists in your 3D reality and then experience it in your imagination in a way you would if your desire had already manifested. In this case, when the girl extended her face outside the window of the streetcar, she let the rain and the wind mingle with her tears. And then she tasted the water and assumed it to be the salty water from the sea. As she felt the wind, she assumed in her mind that the wind was from the bay. As she touched the streetcar, she assumed it to be a ship. The powerful secret is to use your resources and senses that exist in your current 3D reality, to play a game of pretense as you probably did when you were a child, and then allow your imagination to experience your current reality in a way where your desired reality has already manifested. I will repeat the process I just mentioned once more as it is super important. The powerful secret is to use your resources and senses that exist in your current 3D reality, to play a game of pretense as you probably did when you were a child, and then allow your imagination to experience your current reality in a way where your desired reality has already manifested. You essentially use your senses in the present and mix it with your imagination to experience a sensual imagination existing in the future. 3. The third thing that the girl did is exactly how you should try to end all your imaginal acts. This technique was performed by Jesus countless times, but in a slightly different way. Your imaginal act must end with gratitude. Jesus always gave thanks to God while this girl heard a man say, "Isn't it a heavenly night?" I liked this variation because repetitively giving thanks for every intention may sometimes make it difficult for one to feel the emotion of gratitude. The main idea here is that you must end your imaginal act with a statement that implies that you have already received or experienced your desire. Giving thanks like Jesus implies that you have received your desire. Hearing a statement in your imagination in present tense such as, "Isn't it a heavenly night?" implies that you have already experienced your desire. This ending statement is more like a reinforcer that helps your subconscious to be impregnated with the idea that your desire has already been fulfilled. With that, we end our video today. You will find the link of the video where I talk about sense teleportation in much more detail in the description and also at the end of this video. The video is called, "Was Jesus an Alchemist?" Make sure to watch it as it is a very powerful technique which has helped me and many others tremendously in realizing many desires. Make sure to subscribe to this channel and hit the notification icon so that you do not miss our next systematic broken down analysis of manifestation videos. Please hit like button to help the channel grow while leaving your thoughts on the comments. Thank you for watching. Until next time, happy manifesting.